Welcome back to Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. Today we're going to talk about why I chose an HBCU over a PWI. Guys, as I stated, in my previous video, talking about my recruiting time through high school, I did state that I had a couple of PWI schools were looking to have me become a part of their programs. My parents, I thank my parents to this day for, pushing me to make the decision to come to Morris Brown College. Morris Brown College was a late on the radar, so to speak, because, my parents had got my film and stuff together to send, down to coach for him to check it out. And, of course, as I stated, my grades weren't, my grades were good. They were average. But my test score had me prop 48. My ACT score had me prop 48. And guys, I want to tell you, I wouldn't trade going to Morris Brown College, or HBCU period, for nothing in the world. Sometimes I get a little upset at the fact that I didn't get, I should have went back to Morris Brown and completed my, when I ended up changing my degree, because again, I was a dual degree engineering major. And see, that's one thing a lot of folks don't understand. Even when you're taking classes at schools, you have to ask a lot of different questions, like, do they allow cross registration? Morris Brown the AUC period allowed cross registration, where we could take classes at, any of the neighboring campuses. We could take classes at Clark, Spelman, or Morehouse if you was a Morris Brown student. And it was the opposite for Clark, Morehouse, and Spelman to do the same. And the craziest thing is you would meet so many different people on so many levels. But I want to start from the beginning. Being in high school, and I think back then, the Freaknik was wide open. And I said it, I'm telling my truth. I'm telling my truth. Guys, only thing I thought about was party. When they said Freaknik, boy, my eyes got big, like, woo, Freaknik, yes, sir. I think I want to attend Morris Brown College. We're gonna go ahead and check them out. We're gonna give them a look-see. And guys, like I said, my mom and dad tried to get me to come down here on a visit several times. And for the life of me, I didn't want to leave the state. The party piece was cool, but it was a young lady there that was holding my heart. And, I didn't want to leave from by her side. I didn't want to leave her alone and come here. But, things happen the way they happen. And, sometimes it's just time for you to move on. My parents were one. They believed in leaving the state of Michigan and getting out and see other things. Air Force brat. Because my dad, we would go from place to place. And, we were living somewhere new all the time. And, he just said, hey, son, I've seen the world. I need you to get out here and see the same. I don't want you to get in that space where you're just looking at these walls here in Detroit, Michigan. It's more to life than just Michigan. If you go away to college and you come back, then cool. You've seen something other than Michigan. And the crazy thing is, I had opportunities that was 2 hours, like 2 hours up in the peninsula in Michigan. I had another opportunity 45 minutes away from the house. Another opportunity that was 2.5 hours away from the house that was in Ohio. And my mom and dad was like, nope, you're going to Georgia. So here we are. And the craziest thing is, when I got here, I met Schaefer Rowland from Miami, Florida. Great dude. He actually showed us what the dorm rooms look like, so I could get an understanding of how I need to set everything up. He made me feel comfortable because I kind of think, he saw it, saw the look in my eyes, like he don't know if he really want to be here. He talked to me and like, hey, everything's going to be cool, brother. Just come on, check it out, and go from there. And I think sat on a talk with my financial aid advisor. She, put me, made me feel even more comfortable, let my parents know that if I ran into any situations, she'd give them a call, or she'll do the best that she can to help me through, to make sure that I was able to go ahead and still get in class and do the things that I need to do. So that was a wonderful, feeling as well. But the craziest thing is, guys, when we had the orientation, freshman orientation. Freshman orientation took me back to the movie School Days. Excitement. It made, people were feeling, a part. You felt a part of something. And when I switch over and I look at when I went to a PWI, I didn't feel a part of anything when I was over there. I spent more time at Morris Brown College than I did the PWI that I attended. Why? Because the atmosphere is totally different. And that's what I think many of you, when you get out here and get to recruiting, you got to look at the atmosphere. You got to look at, is this place, do you feel comfortable where you are? Do you feel at ease to where you can be the best you and succeed at whatever it is that you're looking to do? Morris Brown gave me that platform. Morris Brown gave me that feeling. My HBCU showed me the love that I was looking for. My PWI didn't. It didn't at all. And the craziest thing is, when you're taking, when you choose a major, and this is the one thing I'll say, my professor over the PWI, she actually she ended up becoming my professor because I switched majors, because I was on my way of getting my tail kicked out of school. This is the reason why I'm telling you the story. I'm not telling you the story to say that HBCU is much easier than the PWI. No, sir, I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that you have people that are in place at both schools. Sometimes you have to look a little harder in the PWIs than you do the HBCUs to see exactly who's going to stand up and fight for you, who's going to stand up and be in your corner. You get what I'm saying? And I had maybe the whole time I was at a PW, I think I had two the whole time I was there. At Morris Brown, at my HBCU, I can count on several hands who I can go to and talk to about anything, and they would take me or lead me in the direction of where I needed to go. So all I'm saying is that for me, it was the comfort factor. It was the comfort factor, and me being able to sit down and say, hey, look, this is what's on the plate here, understanding what I need to do and the direction that I need to go. But the football games and the atmosphere and everything that was going on, the basketball games, the rivals that we had between Morehouse and Morris Brown, Clark and Morris Brown, Savannah State, Albany State, Fort Valley, you name it. It was always a fun time. But guys, again, you have to see for yourself which direction you want to go. The shiny thing is not always the best thing, because the shiny thing is like fool's gold. Once you get it in your hands and you're sitting there, you're looking at it and say, man, I got all this dirt on this thing. Let me clean it off to see what's going on. And as you get to washing it off and you're sitting there, you're looking at, like, wait a minute, it doesn't look the same anymore. Matter of fact, it's beginning to deteriorate. So now you're trying to find your way. And all you're looking to do is just be the best you. Guys, all I'm saying to you is evaluate all options. Because so many of you, your parents are probably around the same age I am, and they may have gone to HBCUs, and they say, hey, I had a bad experience there. I don't want to do that again, or I don't want to send my child there. And I respect that. I respect it. However, don't turn a blind eye to an HBCU, because it could be the time of your life. And if you're looking at it from the standpoint of, I can't get picked up, there's no NFL, no professional sports team is going to pick me up from here. Says who? Guys, trust me when I tell you, dang on, you have so many professional athletes that came from HBCUs that'll make your head spin. They'll find you on tape. If you're doing what you need to do, they will find your tail on tape. Trust me. Trust you me, they'll find you on tape. They found Walter Payton. They found Steve McNair. They found Michael Strahan. They found Doug Williams. They found, I said Shannon Sharp. I said Jerry Rice. Guys, they're all over the place. Heck, matter of fact, I'll name you another one. Nick Ferguson. Nick Ferguson went to Morris Brown College, transferred to Georgia Tech. got drafted to Cincinnati Bengals, left Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals held his rights, and he went and played over in Canada, in Canadian football. Came back, played for the Jets, played for my Broncos, and then retired with the Houston Texans. Yes, sir. Nick Ferguson, Morris Brown College product. So don't sit here and tell me that it can't be done. It can, as long as you have a plan. Share the content. Follow us on social media. The links are listed below. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. As I always tell you guys, be that one and lead.